Welcome to Talkin' Baseball. It is time to preview the West region. Dodgers, Astros, and all those teams. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin' Baseball. My name's Jimmy. I got Jake sitting next to me. I got Trev in California. Producer BBD in the corner like Baby from Dirty Dancing.
Oh.
We're going to preview the West. Welcome to the show. Jake, is your favorite part of the country the West?
Ooh, no.
Yeah. Okay.
East Coast guy. Respect the West. It's just I'm from the East Coast.
What are you always saying? East Coast till I die?
Always.
That's
Always.
his greeting.
East Coast till I die. I met you before the West was won. No, I love the West Coast, especially my good friend Trevor Plouffe on the West Coast. And I'm sneaking us into the baseball, not to get too far into baseball, not that people are here for that, but a lot of fun teams in the West. And I think I've had a lot of my takes change on some of these West Coast teams.
Do you think there's a lot of fun teams in the West?
I really do. And you know that. You fought me on my NL West teams.
I still fight you on it.
Trevor, how are you?
Shocker with the East Coast bias to start off the Western region preview.
I mean, come on.
Shocker that you're a West Coast guy.
Well, think about this.
Thinking?
The East and the West, when we had our rap battle back in 1993-ish,
sure,
yeah,
early 90s, I think the West took that one.
Did we ever get a score?
I don't know.
Was there ever a final?
Yeah, I think they lost the scorecard, but Biggie's pretty good.
Yeah, you guys had one player. You guys are like, like the Angels before they had Shohei.
He was sicker than your average, though.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he's Mike Trout.
What about
I'm a Tupac guy.
Okay.
Jimmy
is deep in thought. Scary.
Hove. What's his fucking
Jay-Z?
name? Jay-Z.
H-E-O-V?
It's weird you remembered Hove and not Jay-Z.
Yeah, it was blowing my mind. I didn't want to say Hove. Yeah, what about him?
What about him?
I mean, what about Snoop Dogg? I mean,
yeah.
Dr. Dre. I mean, we could just go on and on.
wow,
West Coast
EPO,
rules the
EPO.
rap world. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, I'm a St. Louis guy.
Cool party.
Yeah, because Nelly would have been a stud baseball player.
That's what everyone says.
Jake's been saying that. This episode is brought to you by James Drury, Harry Lewis, Sarge, Dan Hunaway, Nathan McRae, James Nagangast, James Nagangast, Jimmy Nags, Vinny Tran, Chris Petrelesi, Michael Saway, T.C. Gentry, Joseph Hosford, Brad Urbanowitz, Roger Abril, Mike Parchinsky, Omar, and Cody Hamill. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to our most recent Patreons. Patreon.com/Jomboy Media. We'll get you there. You can hang out and watch live with us. There are some people doing that as we speak. You want to get straight into the West? Jake, are you going to navigate
Trev's
us?
got some tidbits and stuff.
You got tidbits, Trev?
We could talk a little bit about
Let's
what
talk
we
a little bit.
discussed earlier.
Get going.
It's time for Trevor's Tidbits. It's time for Trevor's Tidbits. He's not good at sharing his bits. He's probably taking the shits. It's time for Trevor's Tidbits.
All right, Trev, what do you got? What are the tidbits coming to us from you today?
These aren't your typical tidbits, okay? We're not finding out breaking news here, but when we say something and maybe something changes, I feel like it's okay to address it, or we should address it.
Mm-hmm.
And you've heard me mention on this show many times before about how these inter-squad games are going to be completely useless. They don't really get you ready for real games. Now we've been through about, a week of this now? Something like that.
And maybe even more. I don't know.
kind of what we're seeing around the league is these hitters and pitchers coming out to talk about inter squads and how they may actually be beneficial because of the instant feedback the hitters can give to the pitchers. So it's not something new. Before in spring training, the first few days you do face your own pitchers. It's just called live BP. You go there, you tell them at that point what you saw, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, et cetera, et cetera. I just think we're getting more of it now, and I think guys are realizing that, okay, this could be beneficial, especially to the pitchers. So we're starting to see some worth with these inter-squad games in maybe, I don't even know what you would call it, a little development, which I wasn't anticipating. So I thought that's cool to talk about and share like what's going on. These guys are saying like maybe we should even continue this next year. Let's just maybe do half games against teams, half games against our own guys, because what is spring training for but to get ready for the season, and they're feeling like this is going to help these guys out a little bit.
So have you been talking to pitchers or hitters? Because from the Yankees camp and the Yankees interviews, the pitchers love it, and the hitters are dying to not face their own pitchers anymore. The Yankees hitters have been like, I cannot wait to face another team. I think it benefits the pitchers a lot, which is really cool.
I think it benefits the pitchers, and I'm sure they're saying that about specifically Garrett Cole because you don't want to feel like you're getting abused every single time you go to the plate.
Dude, and Garrett Cole's quote was like, I'm just trying to win the game. Like, he was like,
yeah.
He's like,
chill out, dude.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if you're going against your own staff and, like, you have a good staff, you're probably like, dude, I wish we could face the Orioles on the road and face a couple of their double-A guys at the back end of the game as well. Like, you kind of want some easy at-bats so you get that confidence up. If you're continuously getting beat down, and which I believe, the Yankees hitters maybe are saying that. You got Garrett Cole, you got Paxton's been throwing, right? And their bullpen. Like, facing those bullpen guys, switching off one inning on, one inning on, like, it's not fun. So
yeah. But it is interesting. They even said that underground baseball league with Stanton and Scherzer and all them and Corbin or whoever was there.
Yeah.
They said the same thing. Like, very rarely can you be like, hey, why did you throw that pitch after that pitch? And you get to like ask right away.
Yeah, cool. That was more probably like the live BP, but I think really what they benefited was these guys, it's basically like an all-star game out there. So you're getting feedback from different players on different teams that you normally wouldn't get to talk to.
And Trev, call me out on this if this is soft, but I mean, if I'm a pitcher, dude, I don't want to throw in on my guys. Like, I know I've seen one highlight from Yankees camp where someone threw up and in on Luke Voit, and you hold your breath and you gasp. And I think as a hitter and a pitcher, you both have to hate that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And that was one of my points on why these games are kind of useless, because you're not going to pitch the way you normally pitch. Like, you're not going to go in, a pitcher's not going to say, guess what? I need to establish this part of the plate, and I'm going to throw it. And if I hit you, I hit you. That's a thought that a lot of pitchers throughout the year have. And I really feel like they're trying not to have that thought process when hitters on their own team are in the box.
Yeah.
So that kind of brings me to my other point about this, and it's almost like a counterpoint, which is, just bear with me here.
Okay.
We've had a few examples now of guys that I've talked to where these games, typical baseball plays happen, but they're aggressive baseball plays, and that's causing a little bit of friction between teammates as well. Plays at the plate, slides into the bases, stuff of that nature. That's where you kind of got to be careful here as well. You want to play baseball. You don't want to go take it easy, because that's where injuries can happen as well. So there's this fine line. You're towing this line with still being aggressive but not trying to hurt your own players. So it's we're getting the feedback from the hitters to the pitchers, which is good. And a negative aspect would be this: you can't really go in and go balls out during these games.
Right.
I believe you said you saw something where Eric Kratz didn't even try to apply a tag, because why would he? Why would he put himself and his base runner in harm's way?
Play at the plate, and he just let him slide through. It was Voit again.
Bang, bang.
And Voit ripped his knee up.
Yeah, so it's interesting how these things have been going. We've heard mostly good things about them. It's a controlled environment, more control, which is conducive to player development.
Cool. I think it's interesting. I'm over it. I'm ready for like the next start of games and stuff like that. And it's been really hard for the fielders. Like I haven't seen any like spectacular plays besides the Tigers outfielders who are young and trying to make the team, or the clubby for the Dodgers,
Chico, making plays, baby.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Get started.
You know, the only reason they do a lot of spring training games against other teams is for financial reasons. They're trying to sell tickets and make money. But, you know, if players really want this, I could see a world in a year from now where we're doing more and more inter-squads, less games against other teams.
You want to hear something you're going to hate?
Sure.
I'd pay more to go see the Yankees play the Yankees in spring training than to go see the Yankees play the Orioles or the Pirates or the Blue Jays in spring training.
Kind of fair.
Like, I get to see 18 Yankees, not just 9. I'd pay much more.
You're also a diehard Yankee fan, so that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
The casual baseball fan, I don't think would like that.
I think a lot of diehard
teams.
fans would rather see 18 of their guys rather than just 9.
If you're a Twins fan and you could go to Twins camp and see a Twins scrimmage, that's fun.
Yeah, I guess. It's just it's not a game then. It's just like you're watching them
spring
practice.
training isn't a game either.
Not the game.
Yeah.
Not the game.
I would say the first 3 or 4 innings of spring training is like a game.
Talking about practice.
Yeah, towards the end.
Towards the end, it's a joke.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I had.
Let's get into the West. To the West. To the West.
Everything you own in a box to the West.
Jake, where are we starting? Take us on the journey.
Shout out to Queen Bee. We've been doing the story Ellie crescendo, a worst to first of sorts. And I
have you as Sacagawea guiding us.
I think there's 2 clearly bottom teams here. I think one team has some young guys that they want to see stuff from, and one team has some veteran dudes that are more trades piece. I think from a pure viewing standpoint, I'm going to put these guys last, and I'm going to go with the San Francisco Giants. There's still a few bodies from the old guard. I mean, Brandon Crawford, Evan Longoria, Brandon Belt, Hunter Pence. I mean, these guys, if you're a Giants fan, there's a lot of good memories there. But this team stinks. The bottom of their lineup now looks disgusting, and the old guys I just mentioned, not all of them necessarily have a lot going on. Hopefully, maybe Brandon Bell could put something together and be a trade piece.
I mean, all-star Hunter Pence.
All-star Hunter Pence, get hot, 37, still doing the thing, so I appreciate that. Wilmer Flores in free agency, your guy.
Yeah. Hunter Pence is a swing revolution guy. He changed his whole swing, and he tore it up last year.
There you go.
And then he got hurt. I mean, he ended with a 910 OPS.
I know they've got Sandoval on the bench, and everyone's seen that going around with that kind of if a Jake Storielli ate a Jake Storielli look going right now.
Yeah, I heard they're calling the bench a seesaw when Sandoval's on it.
Ooh.
I don't like that.
I just heard that.
Bleep that out.
I just heard that. Because he's so fat that his side sinks to the bottom and the other side goes up.
There's some guys in the Giants rotation I'm kind of rooting for. Cueto comes back. That's fun. I've always liked Samardzija from his Notre Dame football days.
I don't like him for that exact same reason. I saw him dominate our quarterbacks.
All-time reception leader with Brady Quinn.
Gossman, I actually liked Gossman as a free agent signing. I wanted the Angels to sign him, and we'll get to later. Gossman could be a potential trade candidate, 1-year contract. Again, there might not be a ton of trades this year, but going to San Francisco, that's a pretty pitcher-friendly park. I've got my eye on Gossman, and if you're a team that needs an arm, their bullpen was surprisingly good last year. Will Smith leaves, but otherwise, I don't know. There's going to be some good nostalgia in San Fran. Posey tapped out, but bad baseball.
I'm looking at this organization, and usually when you see a team that's like not going to compete, like you look at their prospect list, you're like, oh, like they have a bunch of guys, and the top end is heavy. I mean, I don't know any of these guys, but according to Fangraphs, they have the 10th, 24th, and 71st overall prospect in the game. Which is that a lot?
Joey Bart's supposed to be legit. I think that's around par for the course, but they just like fully kicked into rebuild mode.
They're in no man's land right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be tough. They don't have guys you can trade. Like, okay, maybe Brandon Belt, but no one that's going to bring you back, high draft picks or high prospects.
Well,
So,
last year was the last year of Bochy, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a full changing of the guard. Like, Mad Bum's out, Bochy's gone. So you're right. They are kind of in no man's land where...
They want to lose. They're tanking.
Yes.
Our dude Gabe over there.
I love Gabe.
Gabe. Trev's guy.
Yeah. I love Gabe too. Great for business.
I'm really curious, to see if they've tabbed Gabe as like the guy that's going to lead them through this entire thing. Because a lot of times, sometimes these managers, they go in there for the transitional phase and they leave. But Gabe's different, dude. You're shaking your head, but Gabe's different.
He's a transitional.
He's a young guy who completely buys into analytics and the player development side. So him and the GM have a relationship as well. It's I see where you're coming from, but I don't think it's a slam dunk that he's just going to be gone. Like Ron Gardenhire is probably going to be gone. Like he probably doesn't want to manage anymore. Like Gabe is in this. He's young. He's in it.
Bochy will be back. He said it's just a sabbatical.
You're out of your mind if you think Bochy is going to come back and manage the team in 2 years. No chance.
Write it down, BBD.
I don't think
Write
he
it
will.
down.
I don't think.
Down.
I don't think Bochy will be back. He said he wants to manage again, so I think he might get a crack at it. Gabe's not there for the long haul, dude.
How many years? You give him 1 year?
2, until they start being good, and then he'll be out.
This year's a wash.
I don't believe it.
Next year, if they show
they hired him. Usually that happens when if you're not hired by the person in charge, a new regime comes in, yes, you get axed because they want to bring their own manager in. They hired Gabe. They know who he is. They think he can handle player development. He did it for the Dodgers, who was like the shining example of player development. I'm just saying pump the brakes on the whole. Gabe's there only in a transitional phase.
All right.
We'll check in on you two and Gabe. We'll check in on you two and Gabe Kapler.
Is Brandon Hyde the manager of the future for the Orioles?
No idea.
Okay.
Fair.
I don't know this. I don't know the situation. Like,
I'm rooting for Gabe. Like I said,
is there a new regime? Did they hire him?
Gabe is great. Great entertainment.
Was Brandon Hyde part of the Dodgers player development restructuring?
Stop with your East Coast bias, Trev. Yastrzemski's always nice to see in a baseball jersey. San Fran, it's going to be a long year.
We spent too much time on this team already.
Yeah, we really have. The other dud in the West Coast is the Mariners. The reason that I at least let them follow second is because I do think they are in kind of this let's find a couple young guys. The prospect everyone loves is Kelenic. He's probably a year or two away, probably a year. Everyone's starting to go nuts over this guy. But this year is a big let's see who can do it year. For guys like J.P. Crawford was a big trade piece they got from the Phillies. Shed Long supposed to be leading off. Kyle Lewis, Evan White, the first baseman who they gave a contract to. This team, if you're a Mariners fan, this can be a fun season for you because you're going to be seeing some young guys that could potentially be part of the future, or you're going to be finding out who's not a part of the future.
Sounds like they have a plan. They'll probably make the first trade of the 60-game season, so that's exciting.
Good take.
I hope you say Kikuchi deals because I want to root for him to be good. So much pine tar that guy uses.
Maybe the best color scheme in the big leagues.
Crispiest camera in the bigs. When you watch a game at Safeco, it's got a whole different vibe to it than any other behind the pitcher camera. So I like that.
Okay, yeah, we got it. We're searching for positives here.
I like that the color scheme kind of reminds you of the Pacific Northwest. It's like, that
great.
dark green, yeah.
Especially when they throw the little touch of silver in there. Big fan of that. Maybe I'm just like Ken Griffey back in the day bias because everybody wanted to be just like him. But, yeah, I mean, look, it's not going to be a fun year for Mariners fans. You might get to catch a prospect here or there, but I think the AOS is a pretty good division.
They got a lot of speedsters. Just run like
I like
crazy.
some of the guys on the team. I played with JP. I know Malix. I played with him as well. Fun guys to watch. JP can play some baseball. He can play shortstop. We saw him make some spectacular plays last year. Offensively, he needs to bulk up. I tried telling him that back in the day. Kind of a catch-22 because in the end you bulk up, you're not going to be making those plays. But, yeah, it's I've been watching Kelenic. He's had a few homers in this summer camp. He looks great. That'll be fun to watch him because everybody is all over him.
Yeah, his swing is nice.
Sweating Kellenic hard.
Jake, are you and Shed Long still beefing?
Me and Shed Long are currently in a beef. I'm willing to resolve it over any time. It was over an issue in the Little League World Series last year.
Yeah. Ex-Yankee Shed Long.
Yeah.
So, a great baseball name. If you're a Mariners fan, I think you can have fun this season. There's a lot of young guys that, you know, if this plan starts to go to fruition, J.P. Crawford is a guy that could be a Mariner for the next 5-7 years. Lewis, Fraley, White. So get excited for the young guys, but it's not, you guys aren't doing anything.
Is Justice Sheffield taking the next step?
He could. You know, he was a big prospect for the Yankees. They've got him as the 7th in the org. He's going to get a full season. That's all you're finding out. Is Marco Gonzalez good? He's had a couple good seasons. He's the ace of that staff. He wouldn't be an ace of a lot of staffs. I think this is a fun exploration year, just kind of like, you know, sophomore year of college.
Yeah. You want to hear how they start the season?
Do it. Schedule Jim.
Big schedule guy.
Yeah, they got a tough journey. I think they start with the Astros.
Ooh.
Pulling it up. Yep. They start with 3 against the Astros, 3 against the Angels, then 3 against the A's, then 3 against the Angels. So they go against their meat of their division right away.
Damn. Yeah, I think we're done with the Mariners. No offense to our diehard Mariners fans. You guys know what's coming this year.
Go Tim Lopes.
Go Tim Lopes, they'll say.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got to keep it in the West, and it's my Rockies. I'm not happy about it. I like the Rockies.
Keep it in the West?
Keep it in the West.
Yeah, the whole show.
We're
theme of the
just
show.
the whole
It's
show.
In the West, yeah.
Well, you guys started talking Brandon Hyde last time. We're going to my Rockies, the rock pile. It's the same story for the Rockies since their start. The lineup's pretty nice. There's a lot of dudes in the lineup you're going to like. Herman Marquez is legit and would probably be talked about a lot more if he wasn't a Rocky. But the question is how much pitching they're going to get. When they get some good pitching, we've seen this team go to the wild card games recently. But last year, the pitching fell apart, and they were one of the worst teams in baseball. So if they can get some pitching, which, hey, maybe the 60 games helps, maybe it doesn't. If they do pitch, like the Rockies are going to be around in the wild card, but that is a big if for them.
Yeah, the Rockies didn't do much to improve at any point.
Yeah.
And I think they may have really not wanted baseball this season. I think the rumor is allegedly that Rockies management, ownership were some of the people that were pretty, we don't need it. We're cool without it. So, I don't know. Sucks to be a player for that squad when they didn't help at the deadline last year, didn't help in the offseason, and were big advocates of not playing. If you're a player for the Rockies, that kind of blows. I don't know how you get motivated. It's like a major league situation.
Yeah,
That's how.
We've heard the same rumors about the ownership group. As a player, whatever, dude. Like you're out there. This is your career. Like you focus on what you can control. Would you want a guy that's an ownership group that supported you and wanted you to play baseball? Yes.
Yes.
Is that going to affect your season? Probably not. The one question I have for you, Jake, as the Rockies expert on the pod.
Yes, my Rocks.
What's up with John Gray?
Yeah.
Like he's really good, right?
Yeah. He
But is he really good? Or is in my mind, do I just think this guy's really good?
So what sucks for the Rockies is they are always going to be the, hey, I think John Gray's pretty talented. Like, we should go trade for that guy. And the Rockies are saying, like, hey, I know his stats aren't amazing, but John Gray is good. He just plays at Coors. But I think he had one kind of lost year in 2018 where he gave up the most earned runs in baseball, 27 homers. Outside of that, he's been solid. And if you take those numbers outside of Coors, John Gray's a pretty talented pitcher. So, and that's the thing. And this is where Rockies fans can kind of turn on you. They say, hey, Marquez is good. John Gray is good. Freeland was a disaster last year. If he can turn it around and figure it out, they'd obviously need more guys to step up, and their bullpen is just atrocious. But starting pitching-wise, if you took these guys and put them on another team, you'd be like, okay, I like a couple of these guys.
Yeah, but they have park-adjusted
crazy.
stats, though. Like, you don't just guess at those things anymore. Like, they have park-adjusted stats.
Sure.
So I'm looking for them right now.
I mean, in 2017, Gray had a 138 ERA plus, and in 2019, he was a 135. So, he can put a year together.
Yep. Marquez is good. They let him eat an 11 earned run outing last season,
Yeah.
which kind of ruined his numbers.
That's tough. That's
They made him eat a
right there.
2.2 11 earned runs outing, so that sucks. This staff reminds me of the Brewers. It's like, yeah, they're good. They're not scaring nobody.
Yeah, but opposite bullpen.
I'm talking about the
starting
rotation.
pitching.
Talking about
Just
just the
the starting
rotation.
pitching.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm looking at some more of the Gray's peripherals, and he's not as good on those as I expected him to be. He's an above-average pitcher, slightly above-average pitcher. But I've faced him, and he's fucking nasty, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, the lineup's there. Dahl, Story, Blackman, Arenado, that weirdo Murphy. I mean, it's there. Tony Walters played like 158 games last year.
They've got other dudes that can take a next step, too. Ryan McMahon had a pretty solid year for a young player. Brendan Rodgers is a big-time prospect, and you've got guys like, Matt Kemp, a non-roster invite. Can he put a little Matt Kemp magic together in Coors? Like, that lineup can be deep. It's the Rockies' lifetime story. Like, we can mention different guys and different names. If they can get dudes out, they'll win games. But that's the problem.
They're never going to get free agents to sign there as pitchers. Like, they have to develop pitching, and if they don't do that, they're going to have this problem year after year after year after year.
They have
Nobody
a
wants to
weird
go and pitch
schedule.
there.
Well, they got schedule guy.
They got 3 against the Rangers, off day, 2 against the A's, off day. So they burned 2 right away as well.
Stay fresh.
And
Friend
then
of the pod, Drew Butera.
Drew Bue.
and Dahl, and
mentioned
then
him.
the Padres, and then the Giants. Kind of a soft opening, if we're being honest. Like, if they want to make a run, they have 3 against the Rangers. We're not sure what they are right now. Then the A's, they're going to be good. But then they got, 2 against the Padres and 4 against the Giants and 3 against the Mariners. So if they want to try and
I like it.
get hot, shove it up manager's butt.
Ooh.
Managements. They can.
Management.
And that's
I don't think they'll be good.
I think what this normally comes
on the
back
record.
to is I give the Rockies love. Jimmy chops me down a little bit. Watch sequence with Trevor Plouffe and David Dahl. But I'm just saying, in the 60-game season, if they can get off to a decent start with that schedule, if they can pitch a little bit, they can hover. I'm not putting any change down on the Rockies. I'm just saying they can hover.
They will be middling. Oh, can they? Middling dead.
Like, they're going to hover.
Hover.
Hoverboards.
And then
Hoverboards.
right before they crash, they're going to blimp up a tiny little bit.
I mean, we're a year removed from them being, in 2018, they were 91-72.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of the same pieces. So 87 wins the year before that. Last year, my schedule guy, they came into the All-Star break and they ran into the Astros and someone else. And then they went on, they were in the wild card race last year, and then they fell apart. So don't be surprised if my Rocks stick around. That's all I'm saying.
Where are we going next? San Diego?
I'd be surprised.
Let's keep it in the West with Trevor's Padres. We'll keep it in the West with Trevor's Padres. Trev, I'll kick it to you. You're starting to fall for these guys. You're falling for this broad.
It's almost like I'm just... They've been constructing this roster and rebuilding for so long. They've invested so much money in this lineup, in this team. They have some big prospects that have come to the big leagues and actually been guys. So it's like, it's got to come together. It's either going to come together or it's just going to be a disaster. But with the guys they have, I just don't see it becoming a disaster.
Who do you like?
Who do I like?
Who do you like?
Besides Machado and Tatis and Paddock. I'm giving you those three easy. I like those. Who else jumps out?
I don't know a lot of the prospects that are supposed to be coming up, but I just like the roundness of their lineup. Like a guy like Tommy Pham coming over, bringing some energy. I dig that. Hosmer, I love Hosmer. He has to step it up. That's a guy that if he goes in there and kind of retools his swing, working with Machado for a second year, figures something out, get the ball in the air a little bit more. If he can help them ride the 60-game season out, he's a guy I'm looking to. Profar coming over from the A's. He's a guy who has been a guy or can be a guy. They need guys to step up. They need guys from their prospect list to come up as well. But it's just time. They have a great bullpen too. I always look at bullpens, especially in this 60-game season. They have the pieces. It's can they take the next step?
It is a matter of when.
And by the way, all I said was they're going to finish one game over 500. So you're I'm not defending them and saying they're going to win the West.
All right, you just like the trajectory they're on.
They have to go. It has to happen.
It's a matter of when.
I don't like their rotation.
Say it, baby.
I don't know. I mean, Paddock should be a stud, but then who else do they got? Richards been hurt, and then even then.
So Richards gets hurt a lot. When he pitches, he looks good. Zach Davies is Zach Davies. He's a guy that you're fine having in your rotation. Joey Lucchesi's a lefty that throws innings. And Lamette's the other guy that they want to break out. His strikeout numbers are silly.
Coming off injury, right?
Bugs Bunny. And if he can put it together, he could be the other wipeout guy for them. And then get it to the bullpen. But, hey, I mean, I
like Zach Davies coming over with the Trent Grisham, right?
And San Diego's a pitcher's park. If you put Zach Davies' numbers and then you give him a little San Diego effect, he could have a really solid year. Same with Lucchesi. Richards, Davies, and Lucchesi, if they're your 3 through 5, I think you're okay. They need a second dude to step up.
I'm not going to pretend that I know about these guys a lot. But when you look at their list, what I said before when I said they're going to win one game over 500, I was talking about how many guys they have on the MLB overall top 100 list on their prospect list. That's a good thing. You want to have as many guys on as you can. Hoping that a couple of them are going to pan out.
Yeah.
You know what I would
Mackenzie
say for the
Gore,
Padres?
Luis Patino, the 3rd and 18th overall guys. They're both pitchers. They're a year away. They're saying Patino's going to be up there this year.
Yeah. You know what I'll say about the Padres?
That's what I'm talking about.
They're on a trajectory. They got a feisty fan base. They got the brown back in the uniforms. This should be a fun 2 months of baseball for them. I don't expect them to make any, I don't expect them to be a wild card team. I don't even need them to be a game over 500. But there's a lot of young guys, and we were talking about the guy with the Tigers that tweeted at us the young guys that he was excited to see. Ray. And we were like, hey, they're not going to play those young guys because they don't want to mess up the service time. The Padres are going to play their young guys, so it should be really fun to see these guys.
Or
at least attempt to, and give them some reps. Here's a take, Trev, I'm interested to see. I'd like the Padres to have a 500 record or better after they get eliminated mathematically.
Ooh.
What?
Jimmy thinks they quit.
No, I just want them to not quit. That was something that the Yankees in 2016, they were eliminated, but they did really well after they were eliminated. And the next year in 2017, they all said that. Did you see how we finished last year? We finished strong because we knew we were going to, we had something brewing. So I hope
that's where a guy like Hosmer steps in, a guy like
some
Machado
energy
steps in. They got to be able to keep it going. Yeah. And these guys realize the position they're in. And that's kind of, not only do you have to go perform, but you're a leader. You have to make sure that happens. And especially on a young team like this, they understand that. So yeah, I agree with you. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, you want to continue to play out the season.
Yeah.
I wish they had one more bat. I wanted them to get Puig because Tatis, we're expecting him to be special. Machado, if anyone could put 2 months together, it's a guy like Manny Machado. Pham sneakily has some of the best on-base numbers in baseball, like the past couple years. Like, he'll be on base in front of Machado. It would be nice if Hosmer could step up. I would like if they have one more bat because they can go 4 through 9, and if you're a good pitcher, like, you could get through those innings pretty easily. But I don't know. That's the Padres. And we skimmed over the bullpen, but they do have guys in there that and
it's
young
a really
guys.
good bullpen.
Yeah.
It's a really, really good bullpen.
Get some leads.
I do know Mackenzie Gore, their number 1 prospect. I watched him pitch. He has this. He's a left-handed guy, crazy high leg kick. Go watch highlights of him if you haven't. Again, him and Luis Patino. Those are like the type of guys that I'm talking they're here.
And that's the question with young guys. Is it this year? Is it next year? Is it 2022? But the Padres they're on their way.
Minor league numbers are incredible. So he's dominated every single level. So if you're 60-game sprint, man, I would love to see him.
Patino.
Do you guys want to keep it in the West? I'm thinking.
Oh, I was thinking the Rangers were next on the list.
I think they are, but I think we need to close it off with the Diamondbacks. I don't think the Diamondbacks are far enough ahead of the Padres and Rockies that we can jump back and forth from division. We'll save the Dodgers, but let's finish off this middle chunk of the NL West, which I enjoy for some reason. I get critiqued for this.
By me, who I'm just being a butthead.
Oh my God. Imagine.
The NL West doesn't do anything for me. Dodgers are just going to run away with it. Everyone else is just going to beat themselves up. No one's going to do anything.
I like the NL West, and I think the Diamondbacks deserve more respect. If they were in more of a baseball city, and I don't want this to be a shot fired at Phoenix or whatever, but
Cole Tucker just says hotbed.
I think if we saw this team in St. Louis or one of the Chicago teams, I think we'd be saying nicer things because Ketel Marte was special last year. They add Starling Marte. Eduardo Escobar's a ball player. I love watching that dude play. They've got guys up and down the lineup. Not a ton of special dudes, but MLB guys. And they've got some young pitchers that did okay last year, and they added Mad Bum. Like, a team that won, I think, 85 games last year, they added pieces. Like, I think if this team was in a more baseball-known city, you'd hear more hype about them.
I think they are a step above the Padres and Rockies.
Okay.
Well, I think they're all on separate steps. Like, just literally one step higher.
One step.
And then the Dodgers are at the top of the staircase.
Sure.
But I do think that they're a good team. And they've been making, like, strategic trades and stuff. They bring in Cole Calhoun, the Marte dudes together. Everyone's excited about that. But, yeah, if Bumgarner can be good, and he's got his horses now, and he's in the desert.
Yeah.
Robbie Ray. Luke Weaver had a hell of a start to the season last year before he went down. So, I like them, but it's just like the Dodgers are there, and they're going to win the division.
So it's going to take something happening negatively to the Dodgers for them to make a run at this thing. Even in the wild card portion, that's probably what they're realistically shooting for, obviously. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
The wild card race, I don't even get how it's going to work.
I think one of these West teams steps up. I really do.
And gets a spot?
I think like what you're saying, yes, the D-backs should have a slight leg up on the Padres. The Padres should have a slight leg up on the Rockies. But again, once you do that
I have those two flipped.
Padres over the Rockies?
I have Rockies over the Padres.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, contraire, mon frère.
Padres are really young.
Okay.
Don't look at me like you guys are acting like I'm picking the Padres to shock the world. I'm not. I picked them to go finish one game over 500.
No, I'm with you on that. I think that's fair. I think the Rockies are a more talented team than the Padres right now. The Padres are on a path to surpass them quickly.
And I don't know like what they're doing here, what their plan is. Is Arizona in win now mode?
I don't think it's win now. I think they found a price on Mad Bum that worked. Like that whole thing came out of left field, and he's not Madison Bumgarner or the guy we know that owned World Series, but he still throws good innings. And I know you could do these stats with every team, but the 2018 Dodgers did start out 30-30. So again, it's just what can happen in this kind of season. 16-26 to start the 2018 season for the Dodgers. I just think the question marks are pretty big. Like, is Ketel Marte a star? Because he had a crazy year last year, but a lot of people were saying juice ball. But, okay, if I told you a team brought in Starling Marte and Madison Bumgarner, you would say they're in win-now mode. So, I don't know. I think this team maybe deserves a little more respect, but I also understand why they don't get it.
Is Bumgarner going to be good?
I don't know, man. This is a weird, like, when you're just looking at the overall roster construction, then you kind of see what they have coming up. They're right again with that kind of like no man's land. Like, do they trade guys off and get ready for 2021 and 2022?
They don't have many guys to do that with.
Probably a smart business move.
It's fun. Like their pitching staff is like 4 guys you'd love to have as your 4th starter. Like
Eddie Escobar could be an excellent trade piece in a short.
I
year
love
like
him,
this.
dude.
They love him there too, and they want him to be there. But if you could give him to someone this year and get a haul for him, why not?
Yeah. It's kind of a bummer Mike Leake opted out for them, baseball wise.
A little bit. Another arm.
I think he makes his starts.
Hey, I mean, the DH kind of helps. Right now they have Jake Lamb in there. I know Jake Lamb's fallen out a little bit there, but he's got a big year or two under his belt. I don't know. Like this, it's a Diamondbacks team that can sneak up on you a little bit. God, and I don't know. If one of those other West teams dies, like they could find themselves in the wild card race pretty easily.
Yeah.
Mad Bum, one wild card game? I'll watch.
Wow. Rooting for that so hard.
I'd watch. Okay. See?
Mad Bum in a wild card game?
That's why we do this.
Into it. Mad Bum versus DeGrom, wild card game?
Ooh.
Okay.
Syndergaard throws with his left arm. Guys, let's jump over to the West. I think we want to leave the Dodgers, and we'll circle up with the cream of the crop, potentially the cream of the crop in baseball and the Dodgers. In this AL West, I think we have to start with the Texas Rangers, my biggest coin flip team of the season. I think there's almost opposite parallels to the Rockies. The Rockies, the question, are they going to get anybody out? The question for Texas is how much offense can they score around Gallo? And this old man stud pitching staff, and what do they have left in the tank? Is Mike Minor going to be shoving inside changeups down your throat? Is Klubot back? Gibby, go check him out on Sequence with Trevor Plouffe. Lance Lynn will be shoving fastballs down your face. Like, this rotation could be top 5 in baseball or bottom 5.
It's my favorite rotation in baseball because of that reason.
Yeah.
And I just mean it's a storyline I want to watch. Like, it's more of like, can this work? It's 5 professional arms. They don't have like a young gun that they're testing out. That's trying to break to the next level.
Except Taylor Hearn. Love you, Taylor.
Yeah, but out of the 5, Lynn, Minor, Kluber, Gibson, Lyles, they're not asking any of those dudes to be something they've never been before. They're not asking any of them to take a step up. They're literally saying, your base average season, please give it to us for 60 games, and we think that's a winning rotation. It's not a blow your doors out rotation. It's not really a scary rotation, but that's what I think it's fun. They're not really asking a lot from these guys. Just go be you, and we think we can win. So I think I'm excited to see. And you're right, it could fail miserably.
I told Gibby the same thing. I was like, man, we can't figure out your team for the life of us. What are you guys going to do? And obviously he's very optimistic, as everybody is in spring training / summer camp. One thing he did say to me, which I found interesting. Okay, we kind of know who their pitchers are. Like you said, they just want to get their baseline out. Bullpen, they have a few guys. Leclerc is a big swing and miss guy. You got Taylor Hearn, hopefully just throwing like 99 just buy dudes. I would love to see that all year.
Hunch.
But one guy that Gibby said, as I said, like, give me a guy. Like, who's a guy that like you think is like looks really good? And it's a guy that's had a lot of success in the league before, kind of working his way back. And Gibby said some of the stuff that they did player development-wise with him, changing the mechanics and the way he's throwing, is Cody Allen. Gibby says he looks incredible. And if you just find a diamond in the rough like that, just like sitting in your backyard, like that's a piece that could really, really help you. So if you just have the pitching locked down, we know this offense can do things.
Dude, when did they pick him up? The Baseball Reference simulated 2020 season has him starting with the Pittsburgh Pirates and being traded to the Rangers.
Whoa.
Isn't that weird? Now he's
Spooky.
with the Rangers?
Interesting.
Baseball Reference simulated seasons freaking me out, man.
That's funny.
I'm looking right now on the Fangraphs. It said was he in spring training with Minnesota? Because it said they got him from Minnesota in February of this year. So he might have been released by Minnesota.
No, it looks like he did spring training with the Rangers. Looks like he had 4 games.
Yeah, released in February or something, yeah. Yeah, it's just so funny because we wonder, for a lot of these teams, we wonder what the formula would be. Like, just the team we just did, the Diamondbacks. It's like, okay, does Ketel Marte take off that lineup special? Does the starting rotation, are they better than we thought? If this team does it, the starting rotation is going to be shoving 6-7 innings every day. So just figure it out in the bullpen. Like, that's actually a huge advantage if you can count on that. And then it's Joey Gallo, and what do you get around him? We like Willie Calhoun. He could be a potential biggest, if you follow baseball, name you might not know from last year that you will know this year if he does what he can do. All Shin-Soo Choo does is get on base. I wish they had one more calling card. Like, I wish I could look at this lineup and be like, you know what? Defensively, they can really pick it, but a lot of guys are kind of in quirky positions. There's not a lot of, big-time Gold Glovers. I wish there was, one more nuance that made this team, almost must-watch TV, but we're all in for the story.
What's interesting is, we said, what mode is this team in? This is a win-now mode. It has to be because they don't have anything coming up behind it. I mean, I was part of the organization for a small time, and I didn't really see anything. And now that I'm looking at these prospect lists, they have 0 people in the top 100 list. That's not what you want.
Yeah.
So that's telling me, they're trying to win this year. If they don't win this year, boy.
And they got the new stadium, and this is a little bit of a deep cut, but a lot of people talk about Nick Solak. He's a former Yankees farmhand. I think he can hit, and I think the problem was finding him a position, and I think they're still figuring that out. But, again, I'm just looking for whoever they can pair with Gallo because I think there's a chance he's special. There's a chance he walks away with the MVP.
Didn't Solak hit a walk-off in his debut? Is that why people talk about him?
Solak? I don't know. I see a lot of tweets about him.
Yeah, he had a walk-off in the second game of a doubleheader in his debut. So it was a fun intro.
That's cool.
That's cool.
I think that's all we've got for Texas. Texas forever, my friend. The next team that we have to talk about is my team.
Yes, one of many.
The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
The Los Angeles Angels. They cut that out, Jake. They're just the Los Angeles Angels.
Just the Los Angeles Angels.
No more of Anaheim. It's
well,
out.
The Halos, as much as I want to kill them for Dylan Bundy being their second pitcher on their staff, and we'll get to the pitching staff, this lineup is pretty awesome. It kind of didn't compute when they instantly signed Rendon, but when Ohtani's right, Trout, Rendon, Ohtani, you're not going to find 3 better hitters a row in any lineup, I think, if those guys are right. Can Justin Upton bounce back? What's Pujols got in the tank? Andrelton Simmons is going to be Andrelton Simmons. Is Tommy LaStella or David Fletcher for real? You got to love the heart of the lineup at minimum. I do like this lineup. The pitching just scares me, man. I mean, up and down from bullpen to starting rotation. The only guy is Ohtani for me, and he can be very special, but they're also going to have a restrictor plate on him. So I think Haney's solid, but after that, there's so many question marks.
Yeah. Does the pitching scare you because they lack pitching?
I think so.
Shout out Heaney. I just got to hang out with him.
He's solid.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Solid.
I mean, I agree with your assessment of the team.
Thanks.
The lineup is great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Pitching, got to figure it out. I'm going to look right now if they have anybody coming up. I don't think they do.
Griff Canning is the dude. He came up last year. He's young. He's got some stuff. But they're plugging him right in the middle of the rotation. It's not like, hey, let's see what Griff Canning's got. It's go, Griff Canning, please go.
I follow Joe Adell on IG.
Okay.
Very curious to see what they're going to do with him. He's the number 4 overall ranked prospect in the minors. They don't really need him in the outfield right now.
Hold him back for the 7, then let it rip.
I would love that.
Stop
man.
wasting
I kind of
Trout.
like. Usually I'm so against prospects, but this year has me fired up for him. I don't know why.
I'm fired up for Dylan Bundy to shove it down Jake's throat.
I hope he does. I just haven't seen it.
Thinking 8-2 with a 3.43 ERA.
Get him some Cy Young votes.
Just Joey, there's no way he does that. I don't know if that was clear. But I don't know. I think he's got better years than Haney ever has, so that's something going for him.
Bundy's still 27. I'm rooting for Dylan Bundy. I want Dylan Bundy to put egg on my face. I want Mike Trout to be playing playoff baseball. So if Dylan Bundy has to make me look dumb for that, I'm all for it.
Okay. I mean, he's out of the AL East. He's out of Baltimore, where a fly ball to left is a homer, and he's out of Fenway, where a fly ball to left is a homer, and he's out of Yankee Stadium, where a fly ball to right's a homer. So that helps him out. Less homers, maybe. He gave up
Julio Tehran.
He gave up a league-leading 41 in 2018.
We have Julio Tehran.
I like Tehran. He's solid.
Tehran. Isn't he out?
He's on the COVID list.
Okay.
We also have Jose Suarez, who I have no idea about. Young guy.
Okay.
22
Huge.
years old.
Get him out of here.
Left-handed guy. We'll see.
Hey,
not loving it.
What about a Twins comparison? But obviously the Twins are better. But in the same way where we're like, hey, we don't know what's going to win this 60 games. Is it going to be offense? Is it going to be pitching? Because if it's pitching, the Twins can still do it. If it's pitching, the Angels are just out.
Yeah, you can't compare those.
I'm just saying their offense is better than their staff. That's the only comparison I'm making.
Yeah,
the Twins are much better.
Twins have a great bullpen as well.
Yeah. If pitching is going to be the key here, they're out. But the offense is awesome. Remember when Listella was going off last year and they broke his leg?
Yeah.
BBD cried about it because he remembered the time that he broke his leg.
Big tears. Yeah, I don't know. They're going to be fun to watch, man. They're going to be a good late night, 10 p.m. gummy up with Trev. Watching Rendon and Soto go back-to-back in that Nationals lineup was must-watch TV. Trout, Rendon, Ohtani, however they line those guys up, that's going to be a rough inning for any pitcher in Major League Baseball.
It's going to be fun.
I'm rooting.
Ohtani, your AL MVP.
I'm rooting for you, Angels, because I want to see the best player ever play in the playoffs.
Yeah, Jake gets very frustrated with the Angels.
Never won a playoff game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Call up Joe Adell, too. Can we root for that? We like him?
I like that. I'm
okay.
in for that.
Where are you going next?
Be special, Ohtani. Shit down my throat. Dylan Bundy. Athletics. The A's. I was riding hot on these A's. They don't get enough love. I don't think they got enough love in the Astros scandal in general, because this is the team that's been finishing behind them pretty much every year and winning a bunch of games. They probably have the best infield in baseball. I'd have to dig a little deeper, but I think I can say that fairly confidently.
Say top.
Top.
There you go.
Top infield in baseball. They've bullpen stacked. They got guys that get out. It kind of falls into, some people love this starting pitching staff. Some have their question marks. I really like the A's, and watch out. They're going to be on their own fuck you tour. They should be just as pissed as the Dodgers and the Yankees.
Is Luzardo cracking the staff right away, or what?
He's corona'd.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, he's cracking the staff right away. I think they're ready to go with him.
Birch Smith.
Fires Manaea. So, I mean, very quickly, this staff can become like Puck, Luzardo, Montas. How do you say his last name?
Montes? Yeah. Sure.
Fires and Manaea are up there now, but Manea's good. Fires, I don't know. I mean, he had a good year last year, right? Is he consistently good?
Manaea's been good. The slider app thing isn't nice to him.
I know, all his peripherals suck, but I like Manaea. He's fine. I saw him throw a no-hitter live, so that was awesome.
Bang.
Frankie Montas was having a great year, and then
drugs.
On my mind, drugs.
And their bullpen is great. They have guys, that are reaching the majors right now. They have guys that, Luzardo, Puck, Sean Murphy's a huge catching prospect where they need some help there, so he's going to step in. And then, like you said, you got the guys that are just there. We all know about the other guys. I mean,
you got some.
I think it is the best infield in baseball. Bunch of hometown kids. They've developed players. They always do.
Simeon and Piscotty are from the Bay Area. What up?
I never count out A's starting pitching staffs just because it always seems like they don't have enough and they figure it out. They're one of those teams.
Dude, is Chris Bassett the pitcher that has like the mustache and the high
That's
high
Mengen.
socks?
Yeah, it was Magnan.
Magnan, yeah.
We like him.
I like him. It's funny.
It's in the pen.
Bassett's a super, like a tall dude.
Oh, yeah.
Big old head on him.
Yeah, I think if you're Oakland, what's your path to winning the division? Like Puck or Luzardo has to be special?
These guys are special.
Right, but I'm saying for this year. Like, they're very young. They're massively talented. I'm saying for this 60-game season. Like, one of them has to be special.
Sure.
I don't know, man. You can do it without them, probably.
Yeah.
Their offense is good. They have the most foul ground. They're going to get
Their
outs
defense
that
is
other teams and other pitchers don't
incredible,
get.
dude. Their defense is so freaking good. That relieves a lot of pressure from the starters. I'm in on them, man.
Yeah.
Like, do I want to pick them to win the AL West? Like, yeah, I do. I want to pick them to win the AL West. Wow. Should I just do it right now?
They have a pretty soft opening to the season. Angels, Rockies, Mariners, Texas. I like that. Then they go
Their lineup is deep,
Astros,
too.
Angels. What?
Their lineup is deep.
I think the lineup gets overlooked, man. Laureano was hurt last year. He told us that in person. Not a big deal. But
Pussy boy.
Simeon, Chapman, Olsen, those three are monsters. Canna just sneaks up on you and gets you. Like Chris Davis in the 6 hole, I'm assuming he's going to bounce back somewhat, but the fact that he's in the 6 hole says something. And then
he's not going to hit in the 6 hole, is he? What did he hit last year?
Well, dude, they kind of slid him down because he was slumping pretty hard last year.
Yeah.
But, yeah, dude, Murphy made a splash last year. Franklin Barretto's been a big prospect for a while. I wonder if he can win second base from Tony Kemp, or if Tony Kemp can put it together and be nice. That's fine. But, yeah, man, this team in every – like, we talked about the Cardinals being the most well-rounded in the Central. The A's could be the most well-rounded team in baseball. They can pitch. They got starting pitchers. They got bullpen pitchers. They got offense. They got defense. Just like all around, they're checking the boxes. They don't have the star power of probably the Dodgers and the Yankees, but...
On July 17th, Chris Davis was removed from the 4 hole.
Bum, bum, bum.
Went to the 6.
A year ago today.
Is that today's date?
Or Friday.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Yes.
I like the A's vibe, man. All these guys seem to get along. They seem to like have like an identity of sorts. It's pretty easy to do that when you have to walk around and piss and shit and pay for your own Coke out of the vending machine. So
that's not true, but
it was true at one point.
Yeah, but it's not anymore.
At one point.
It's a bad clubhouse. Let me tell. I'm not gonna do them any favors here. Like I brought in candles and incense when I played there because it was disgusting.
When I lived in the Bay Area, we took like a tour for Little League, and the visitors' bullpen bench was just a metal bench that you would find at like your any park in the middle of an American town. They didn't have cushions. They didn't have a back. Just a metal bench.
Good bench. I'd sit on that bench.
It's cold in the Bay Area at night. You got to sit on metal all night?
It's freezing there all the damn time.
Freezing.
All the time.
Like a blankie.
But let's get back. This is a good team.
Yeah.
They are going to challenge to win the West. The Astros obviously have a great roster. Let's hope I don't even know. I don't want to hope anything for them, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go out and say that this is the team I'm picking to win the AL West.
Ooh. Hendricks has so special last year. He deserves to have his name said, if you don't know. But they've got guys in the bullpen, too. Let's go to Jomboy's Houston Astros. What do you think about these guys? Most hated player?
They're a good team still, kind of. Their pitching kind of takes a big hit. They got Greinke and Verlander now, and that's a great 1-2. I love watching both of those guys pitch. But after that, who are they leaning on?
McCullers coming back.
Yeah.
Josh James has all the talent in the world, but he's got to put it together.
Well, he's sleeping better now, and that's great. And then they got Framber. No, but who's the other guy? That was Urquidy. He's not going to be a starter?
Urquidy
He's
has
injured.
not reported to camp.
Injured. Or
COVID.
Corona.
We're assuming.
I'm
BBD's given we're assuming.
I was excited for him. I don't know. They're going to be good, man. They got a lot of bats. They got a lot of good defense.
Their freaking lineup is... I might have to change who I'm picking to win the AL West. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Look at the lineup. They don't even have freaking Air Jordan in there.
Yeah.
So, what's going on with him?
I think he's COVID in. Same as Urquidy. Neither of them have reported. So that's interesting. Are they potentially opt-out?
That just means they probably tested positive before this all started, and they're waiting on.
Yeah, the report was
Could
just
be a visa
that
issue,
both
too.
of them
I don't know.
have an issue preventing them from being able to report to
so
the
we'll
team, is
assume
what the
COVID.
report was. So, COVID.
This lineup without Jordan is scary.
It's messed up, man.
So yeah, they're obviously an excellent team.
Yeah.
I had a question
Starting
for
pitching's
everyone.
pretty damn good too. Their bullpen lost a lot.
They did.
Who
They still
is
got some
Cy
guys.
Sneed?
What'd you call me?
Who's Cy Sneed? It's his name, Cy Sneed.
Cy Snee.
Cy Sneed. His nickname is the Yukon Cornelius, I guess.
I mean, dude, even their bullpen. Look,
Whoa.
they lost some guys. Okay, but when you got Osuna and Presley,
Awful name.
Sneed.
like Presley
what I said.
he got hurt at the end of last year, right? He missed the playoffs. I'm pretty sure.
I think he was just worn out.
No, he got hurt.
Okay.
Um,
Will Harris is gone. Joe Smith opted out today, I think. Davinsky hasn't
Presley's
been
a
the
guy.
same. Cy Sneed.
Cy Sneed time.
It's obviously the AL West is theirs to lose. I'm not going to be rooting for them, but I will say that they're probably the best team. I mean, how could you not say that?
The lineup's dirty, and dude, like you mentioned, there's also some young guys. Kyle Tucker was a pretty big prospect, 5th overall pick. I think he's going to get full run this year. Jordan with a quote-unquote full season, but he was special in a half season last year.
Hold on. Who is this monster they have coming up to pitch for them? Forrest Whitley?
Yeah.
He's 6'7".
Yeah, dude, he's got that lanky, I'm a good pitcher body. There's a good viral video of him yesterday from McTaggart, the beat reporter down here, that he his hand, when he throws with his right hand, he claps his back on the follow-through.
Oh, my God. All right, so this is
That's
ridiculous.
creepy.
Yeah, he's supposed to be pretty special, and if rooting for young guys this year, he could be... Forrest Whitley's a guy you might have to know his name come October.
They're a scary team, dude.
Yeah.
Scared of Maldonado?
Pretty good-looking dude, too.
So
that
much-
doesn't hurt.
So much talent, man. Why'd they have to fucking cheat?
There is some question to be left of how talented and how scary they
Yeah.
are. Some. I think they have skill and they're good. But
I don't think so, Jim. I don't think so at all.
Yeah, you do. You're interested.
It's going to suck for whichever one of these guys has a tough 60 games.
Yeah.
Anyone that's associated with what happened in 2017 and most likely 18 and 19, I don't want them to do well. It makes me mad. The problem with that is they're going to do good. These are really good baseball players. So unless they've just 1,000% completely been reliant on knowing exactly every single pitch, which I know a lot of them have, and I've seen Michael Brantley hit before.
No, it's,
this team is fucking stacked, dude.
Yeah.
The guys you're looking at are Correa, Bregman, and Altuve, seeing Springer and seeing, like, what happens. And I think they're still good. Like, I think they're very talented players. But, I mean, I feel like we just all don't want to go hard on them. They did know what pitch was coming at crucial moments. Yeah. Like, that's not a lie.
Maybe I'm undervaluing that aspect of it. To me, I just don't think they were doing it for 3 straight years every single pitch. 2017 definitely were. We know that. But damn, I mean, just in my mind when I'm looking at this lineup and this roster, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, and I think outside of that, for again a 60-game sample, it's going to suck for whoever struggles because they're going to get killed for all the stuff when it's 60 games and anyone could have a bad 60 games, even if you know what shit's coming. And then someone's going to be like, if Altuve goes and hits 350 this year, he's going to tell everybody, see, I was fine. And it's like, well, you still cheated, dude. Nobody really cares. But now we're just Jomboy's pawns living into it.
I mean, Carlos Correa, where is he going to hit in the lineup? I mean, on Fangraphs, they have him 7th. There's no way he's going to hit 7th. But maybe he will because they have Jordan still not even in this.
And Correa's numbers haven't. Correa's kind of on watch this year. His hitting numbers have not been what Carlos Correa is supposed to be.
Dude,
it was
last
pretty
year
good
he had
last year.
926 OPS, 137 OPS plus. Come on, man.
Yeah, it was half a season. But yeah, it was really just 18 that was bad.
That's my bad, and it was a half season. The year before was bad. He had a 728 OPS. So
about my career right there.
Last year, well, this guy was a 1-1, right?
I don't know. He's a weirdo. I know that.
Yeah. I'm not rooting for him.
This guy was the number 1 overall pick in the draft. He had a full season with a 728 OPS. His career's great. He had a nice half season last year. He'll probably be really good.
If he's hitting fucking 7th in your lineup, you know, something's going on.
No, that's a guy who could be 2-hole on a lot of teams.
Grade A weirdo.
Let's finish up with the creme de la creme.
They play.
Oh,
you
schedule,
do the
Jim.
schedule stuff. Jeez,
Schedule, Jim.
Jeez. Here's my important schedule tidbit. From July 31st until August 9th, they play a team whose name starts with, who has got an A as their logo. And that's a crazy stretch. Angels, Arizona, A's. So do what you're going to do with that.
Whoa.
Next.
No other notes on the lineup?
Nah, it's fine. It's standard. They
I didn't know Yuli Gurriel was so old.
Yeah, it's like 42. They go Seattle, Dodgers, Angels.
Got BBD with that one. Trevor
He's
Plouffe.
36 years old. Holy shit.
Wait, he's 36?
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Is he a Cuba
I mean, he
guy?
defected from Cuba.
Yeah.
I mean, so you got a little age there, but
Trevor Plouffe, can you tell me, as the king of LA, Mr. Nasty from Calabasas, tell me about these Los Angeles Dodgers, because everything we just said about the Astros, I think you can raise them with the Dodgers.
their lineup is incredible.
Dumb.
It was incredible, and then they added the second or third best player in the game. There's just and the bench has depth. I think that's something that we've been talking about a lot. Is you're gonna need the depth in a season like this. The Dodgers have everything and depth. They're in a position to, like Jim, I think you said someone's gonna win 45 games this year. I mean, this is the team that could go out and win 45 games, and you'd be like, oh yeah.
They're really, really good.
Yeah.
Like their pitching is really good.
Everything is good. Starting pitching is great. Bullpen.
Their
Bullpen's
young guys,
always been the
their young
Achilles
guys
heel.
are exciting and good. Their veterans are good. The in-between guys are good. They got guys like Chris Taylor who didn't hit a home run his whole life, hitting 20 a year now. I mean, they're just good. And it's organization. It's organiate. What am I trying to say?
Organizational.
Organizational. Yeah. Like.
Can I give you a Chris Taylor stat since we're on him?
Sure.
Sure.
Throw them our way.
Someone put this out and said since the beginning of 2018, or it might have been whenever Taylor became a full-time player in the big leagues.
Yep.
Per WAR, he's like the 14th best player in the National League over that time. Is that not insane?
Yeah. I'm not a big Chris Taylor guy. Something about his face weirds me out.
Are you thinking of Matt Beattie by accident?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm thinking about
Does he
Chris
have a weird
Taylor,
face too?
the guy we were talking about.
Yeah, Matt Beattie's got the weird face though.
Okay.
Here's what's plagued the Dodgers, and I've had listened to my friends talk about this every year. What's plagued the Dodgers has been their bullpen.
Yeah.
Wait, you might have been talking about Chris Taylor.
Oh, my God, dude. Are you kidding me?
Which one wears the glasses?
In
Chris
the
Taylor does not wear
bullpen,
glasses.
Trevor, you're right. Kenley Jansen isn't the Kenley Jansen he used to be. I think he can still be very nice, but he's not Kenley Jansen, Cy Young votes Kenley Jansen. Pedro
They
Baez-
addressed it. They addressed it though. They addressed the need.
with Treinen?
Treinen and Gratterall.
Gratterall, yeah. I'm rooting
Two guys that
I'm rooting
came in.
huge for Gratterall.
Yeah.
So if you got nobody likes to see Baez pitch here, trust me when I say that. They're always terrified when he comes in. Kenley, even to me, is not a lights out guy anymore. Like maybe
No.
he gets a guy that gets the job done. But man, when you have a closer like that, we had that with Alex Colomé in 2017 with the Rays. And it was like he got the job done, but it was you're biting your nails, he's putting runners on base. It's kind of what Kenley has done. Still great numbers. But if those two guys come in and then they can play like the platoon thing with guys like Kolarek and
Trev,
They
can
got it
I
all.
do trivia? I hope you guys aren't on this page. Blake Treinen,
yes,
off year last year, 2018, one of the more special years a reliever has had. Can either of you guess what his ERA plus was? He appeared in 68 games. ERA plus.
Which year?
2018.
So his special year.
His special year. ERA plus 68 games.
you're making me think it's huge.
420.
420, good guess. Trev,
169.
531.
That's close.
Wait, what are you talking about?
The year Treinen was special, he was crazy special.
His
numbers are
ERA
up.
plus was 531. 100 is average.
That's got to be a fucking typo, Jam. He was not 500% better than average.
He was.
Trev, he appeared in 68 games. He pitched 80 innings. He allowed 7 earned runs all season. He had a
For
0.78.
comparison's sake, that Zach Britton special year, 803 ERA plus.
Jeez, the 2016 Britain. So if Treinen can do that,
Yeah. What did he do the next year?
88.
Yeah.
88 ERA plus.
Baseball's a pretty fucked sport. I want to see, because Jimmy mentioned organizationally in the way he did, I want to see which young pitcher steps up for them. We've seen Arias for a few years. Dustin May kind of became the hot thing last year. Brewstar Gratterall came over. Which one of those guys steps up, and which role do they step into? Does Dustin May become a weapon out of the bullpen, or does he find his way in the rotation? Brewstar, I think after the trade went through and didn't went through, I think a lot of people are rooting for him, and he has a fun name. So yeah, I want to see more out of that bullpen. Walker Buehler.
I'm still like tripping out on what you just said about your maybe like the stat in my mind is warped because like I'm thinking like on the other side like what am I thinking, like OPS plus, like you never see a 500.
By the way, Gavin Lux, the number 2 prospect in all of baseball, slides into their 9-hole. So
Yes, they have everything. One guy like I'm curious to watch and I'm kind of excited about this year is a Jock Peterson who got traded.
Yeah.
And then didn't get traded.
That's how you motivate a guy.
Little chip on the shoulder, Jock, and he looks jacked. He's got his big Popeye arms right now. I saw an interview where he had a sleeveless shirt on, and he looked like freaking Mark McGuire. I don't know if it was the angle or what, but
It's not how he interviewed with us.
Not young enough for you, though.
pipes on him.
Like I'm a little younger.
And guys, don't forget, I had a little inside view into the player development side of the Dodgers, and I got to see some of their guys.
And
they know what they're doing there. I wasn't blown away by it. I think maybe they've just drafted well. Obviously, they've had results with their player development side, but
they have nerves in the tunnel
Jeter,
for real.
I love Jeter Downs.
Yes,
I saw
you love
him
Jeter.
there.
We know.
And then he traded him.
Talk about Jeter every episode. You're in love
So
with
much
him.
Jeter.
Jeter this, Jeter that.
Different Jeter.
Well, not the way we edit it. All right, we're running behind though. We got to end this. That is your Western region.
The West. No
preview.
David Price.
Dodgers are good. Astros are good. A's are good. Those are the three good teams in my opinion.
Dodgers,
Diamondbacks.
Astros. Pick one right now. Go.
Pick one between who?
Dodgers, Astros.
Dodgers.
On paper, the Dodgers are the best team in MLB easily.
They got Mookie
Dodgers,
Betts.
Yankees.
Their Dodgers on paper are better than the Yankees.
Dodgers,
easily.
Yankees. Don't say on paper. Dodgers, Yankees.
Well, that's the whole thing. We're doing on paper. I can't. You want me to fantasize a game in my head and tell you that?
Yes, I do. I do.
Yanks won.
All right, Cole comes out to pitch the first. He looks good.
Walker
Cole
Buehler
versus
on the
Walker
mound.
Buehler.
Oh, Walker Buehler got lost on the way to the stadium. It looks like they're going to throw Tony Gonsolin out there, and he gets shelled.
It's Saturday.
No.
Meow, meow.
Oh, my
How
God.
dare you talk about a Vanderbilt pitcher like that? Take that shirt off.
Tony G?
How dare you?
Oh, you're talking about Walker?
Dude, Walker's fine in that scenario. He just got lost.
Walker got lost. It was a ploy by the Yankees. It was a good ploy.
A lot of detour signs in the Bronx.
He got kidnapped.
Yeah. Celtic pride situation.
So good game.
Yeah. Wow. On paper, I think the Dodgers are way better, but in the game that we just did, the Yanks won. That's awesome.
In my game, the Rays won the East, and the Yankees lost the wild card game. So
yeah, that's not going to happen.
Thanks for listening.
I hope.
5
Goodbye.
stars, Tony Gonsolin.
Catterday.
Clayton Kershaw, good year, bad year?
Who?
Good year. Best pitcher of our lifetime.
Garrett Cole?
No. Garrett Cole, Hall of Famer?
Can't hear you right now. The music's playing. Jay can. He doesn't have the music in his ears.
Tony Gonsolin, a Gale. St. Mary's.
Colts.